Good evening, everyone. Let me get a 5x5 in the thread if you can hear me. If everything sounds, not only can you hear me, but does it sound okay? All right, no crackling, no popping, none of that stuff like poor Magic Prepper was having on his show last night at the beginning. He fixed it though. Michael Holzman, 5x5. Hey, Prepper Nation, thank you for being here. Saw you in here a few minutes ago right before I started. And everyone else, thank you for being here. Let me give a shout out to the Rollins family, who I need to thank them for their hospitality as I cruised through Tennessee. They were nice enough to put me up overnight. There's Prepper Nation. How you doing, brother? I caught your replay of your live that you had to say. Like I said, I have the Patreon membership, but it was on my other channel's email, the OFC Nation email. And I can't figure out how to get back into that. So I'll figure it out one day. So you're still getting my buck or two a month, but I'll catch you. I'll figure out how to get logged back in eventually. Where have I been? Eagle Claw. Chewbacca. Yeah, hey, Sweet Pea. Eagle Claw, where have I been? SHTF is not just a global thing. It can happen in your personal life. I have had a lot of issues. The War Rig 2 went down. I sold War Rig 1. War Rig 2 went down. 5-month lead time on parts. So waiting on that. I've been improvising, adapting, overcoming. And I haven't done a lot of lives with my phone or done anything with my phone, which this is my normal way of creating videos, creating content. And you can't really see it too well. Well, yeah, you can. See how it's all smashed up over here? That's right where the camera's at. And I haven't had the inclination to replace it, all right, to go through and copy down all passwords and things like that and remember logins for different things and do all the app changeovers and all the stuff that goes with moving stuff from one phone to a new phone, because it's a pain in the ass, as most of us know. So, okay, Prepper Nation says, how are they going to call you about your extended car? Why exactly? Yeah, that shit gets deleted anyway. First, Prepper Nation, pay attention. In order to not get a strike or get put in timeout, let me go ahead and give the disclaimer. This is a work of art, a work of fiction. I do not condone any acts of violence or illegal activities. This is for entertainment purposes only. See how you do that, John? See that? It's art. It's entertainment. It's fiction. Therefore, if they counter it and block it, they're admitting that it's real. It's fiction. It's art. It's satire. All right, Curb Creeper. Somebody's blocking there. The algorithms got you. Hold on. People do. Let's see. What did you say? Warlord, you should have people to do that technical shit for you. I should. I just don't have time. Danky Skull put up a little thing, and they're blocking it for some reason. All right. I'm sure that the title of this live, get rid of your guns, probably caught some people like, what the hell's he talking about? It's Warlord TV. What I've thought about it for a while, and what really made, and I'll get into the chat here in a few minutes, but what really made me go, you know what, I'm finally going to talk about this, was John over at Prepper Nation. His now I'm Red Dawn. That's it. His Red Dawn. Put that cigarette out. His Red Dawn video. And it reminded me of a lot of things that you used to see in a lot of third world shitholes, second world nations, even where we had, and yes, I got a pink cup of coffee in it because Angel thinks it's funny. Shit stir. Yep, that'd be me. Shadow Trex. Get rid of your guns. And when I say you get rid of your guns, I don't mean get rid of guns. Get rid of your guns. Because there is no scenario, civil war, societal collapse, revolution, especially revolution, where it's a small asymmetrical party going against a larger government entity. There is no situation where you possessing a firearm that has a number on it that is attached to paperwork that the large entity has access to one way or another is a good scenario. Okay? It's not a good idea. So when I say get rid of your guns, it means make them invisible. All right. Now, this is where the disclaimers come in, because some people would consider, I don't know, removing serial numbers illegal, even though, I mean, guns shouldn't have to have serial numbers anyways, because it's a violation of the Second Amendment, and we shouldn't have to register firearms, which you don't have to register anyway, firearms in the first place. But they can't take or seize or track down what they don't have linked to people. How does this actually, work in real time, in real life, in a conflict zone? All right, whether it be a revolution, whatever. Prime example, and you saw it in Red Dawn. People, small groups, asymmetrical warfare types, will use small arms to attack a larger group. And a lot of the times, especially in an urban conflict, where there are large amounts of civilians involved, but the small groups are attacking the specific target, trying to be surgical. A lot of the times, they'll hit, drop the weapons, and disperse into the crowds. All right? The last thing on earth you want to do is drop a weapon that can in some way, shape, or form be traced back to you via paperwork that you've already filled out and given to the other entity. Not a good idea. All right. You can actually see this. You can go back and watch videos, documentaries, or people like me that have personal experience where in Iraq, Afghanistan, places like that, the enemy would shoot at you, drop their shit, and disappear. All right. There's just an AK-47 laying on the ground, 100 yards away, where there used to be somebody that was sending fire your way. All right. So that's what I mean by get rid of your guns. Now, there are multiple ways to do that. Again, I'm not telling you to break the law, but if you remove every possible serial number that's on there, well, there you go. That's why the government doesn't like ghost guns, because they're not traceable. It's not some spooky technology, it'll float through a wall and kill somebody. No, it's not a fucking ghost. It's something that they can't track or trace specifically to an individual. So if it's found, they're going like, okay, without, unless we can get some good fingerprints on here, nothing we can do. Let's see. Shadow tracks, you just got blocked for something. Hold on. Once they take a few people's with the intention of taking everyone's, will flip dead man switch where the collectors of said tools will have their shit collected whilst they sleep. We must all, I'll show that. Let's see here. Again, if you want me to focus on your comment, just put a smiley face, all right, before your comment, and that'll help draw my eye to it. You can put it in all capital letters, but then you're just screaming at me, all right? And we'll try not to scream at people unless we have to. But other ways, other things you can do. I learned a lot as a criminal. I don't miss that life. There you go, Joe Morgan. Firing pins, bolt carrier groups. You can have ones that you keep in the weapon, ones that are outside the weapon. All right. Uppers, primarily barrels, things that leave marks on the bullet, the casing, and the firing pin. All right. These things are things that they can use for analysis to link specific projectiles to specific weapons. Serial numbers, fingerprints will link specific weapons to specific people. All right. So if you can reduce or eliminate any of those, your odds of success improve in staying in the shadows. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the gadgeting up of guns. All right. you will have, and I see it, I've been guilty of it in the past of, well, let's throw every possible thing, and especially in the military. My M4 had laser on it, optic on it, light on it, tripod built into the forward grip, attachments, and you'll see it today. Lots of people with especially in the AR community, a little harder to bolt stuff onto an AK. It's not impossible. They make adapters, but let's stick with the AR platform right now because it's the most popular. We'll trick it out and turn it into this sleek race car design. Bear in mind when you're doing this that if the shit actually hits the fan, as far as the most likely threat to you being our own government, same for the people of China, same for the people of Canada, they're the most biggest and most likely threat is their own government. Always has been, always will be. There may be a time when you have to just toss that fucking thing away. All right. And think of all the money that you're going to chunk on the ground into a dumpster or wherever. All right. Most people, if you have an O light on your rifle, a laser optic on your rifle, a laser on your rifle, a high end optic on you have enough money there to buy 2 other basic rifles a lot of the time. All right. So where you could have had 3 rifles with iron sights, you now have 1 race car. All right. So think about that. You don't really need all that stuff. All right. I know it's going to hurt people's feelings. A lot of people are going to get mad about that. You do not need to trick out your AR platform, whatever platform you're running, AR-10, AR-15. Hell, if you got the proper, licenses, M4. All right. Because, ATF and all. M4 is a military weapon. Fires more than 1 bullet per round if you put it on the right switch. So there's that. No matter what it is, you don't need to trick it. The average person. Now I know a lot of us in the prepping community are like, oh, I need, I'm going to be a badass operator, and I need the light for when I'm building clearing, and for my lasers for target acquisition, and my red dot and my night vision. No, you don't. Most people in the military, we qualify typically with iron sights up until a decade ago. Then they started going to, the red dot or the ACOG. That's it. That's all you need. You need a sight, whether it be iron or an optic, and a rifle. Okay, that's all you need. Now the other stuff is good under specific. If you have a squad of 4 guys, or even 3, 4 guys, maybe 6 guys, whatever, you have a good squad that you're training specifically, mission specific for. We're going to do high speed tactical shit. First off, especially watching this channel, I see the demographics. You're all about my age. We're too old for that shit most of the time. That shit takes a toll on your body. It takes a lot of training, a lot of repetitive training. You need to build muscle memory. You need to be training with your guys every week, all right, to maintain the quality, all right? For your basic, shit hit the fan rifleman, you don't need all that gear. You don't need all that crap all over your weapon, because it's just going to get hung up on shit, stuck on shit. Your batteries are going to die because you're not going to change them out, or you're going to forget to change them out. They're going to corrode and destroy whatever device they're in anyway, because a lot of people don't think about shit like that. So at the end of the day, iron sights as a backup and some kind of good optic on top. Not for, and I'm not talking good optic like, top T-Rex Reviews, Tybanosaur. I can't say his name right now, but he does long range Huya sniper shit. All right. Most of us, although we like to think we're capable, don't have the training, and it's a use or lose skill as well. You can't just pick it up. And yeah, let me share that real quick. Ink Scars, I see you because you got blocked. You can't just pick up a rifle. You were a Marine Recon sniper in Vietnam. I got that. If you literally haven't picked up a rifle since leaving Vietnam, your skills are definitely subpar now. All right. I mean, it's just the way it is. It's, it's like riding bike. You can pick it back up. You're going to remember some shit, but it will degrade without use, without training. And it says, yeah, I'll show that again. WEF. Everybody's flipping off to WEF. Prepper Nation. Yeah, you're still in there. Hey, buddy. But so, yeah, don't worry about being high speed as far as all the gadgets and gear. And I know everybody and their mama is going to try to sell you stuff. I can't tell you how tired I am of seeing, starvation imminent, or nuclear war inbound, or do this now, and you get tired of it too. I bet all of y'all get tired of that. It's it gets old. It'll burn you out. It'll make you, what the hell? No. At the end of the day, we're all going to die anyway. No one is getting out of life alive. But okay, let's see. As will we all at Warlord TV. Didn't catch what you're saying. Message held for review. Forrest. Hey, Forrest. Yep, at YouTube. Joe Morgan, keep it simple, stupid. My home defense is a A2 carbine. There you go, an A2. And that's good as if you want to shoot through the walls. A long time ago, I used to keep an AK-47 for home defense. And my kids and my wife at the time were instructed that if somebody were to ever break into the home, they were to fall back to our bedroom, to the master bedroom, stand in, they knew what corner to stand in. I would stand in front of them, rack that AK, and shoot through the floors. And it would go from the top floor all the way through this bottom floor, all the way to the basement, because it's an AK-47. It's a 7.62 by 39. And as I'd go from left to right, right to left, I'd drive people, whoever was in the house was either running out the back door or they were staying in hell in wherever the hell they got hit. Because it's an AK-47 with a 7.62 by 39 round. It was just, my house had been built in 1942. It was made of old wood. It's going to go through every floor. Dynamite says, I just wish they would stop dragging it out. Let's get this thing done. I think, honestly, and this is, off the get rid of your guns. That was pretty brief. That's all I want to say. Get rid of your guns. Make them invisible. All right. Trade them with friends. There is no law that says you can't, if I have an AR-15 and you have an AR-15, that we can't swap lowers or the whole thing. There's no law that says we can't swap the bolt carriers group. There's no law that says we can't swap uppers. If it's yours, get rid of it. Get something else, somebody else's. Make shit disappear. Hold on, somebody got something blocked up here real quick. Let me scroll up, and then I'll get back to dynamites. The more you carry on your loadout, the slower your ass is going to be trying to fight. Yes. And I was overseas at that whole era where people back here were complaining about troops not having body armor. All right, because we just didn't have body armor. I mean, you could get flak jackets if you were on a static post or something like that with the whole flap, level 4, everything. And it's heavier than shit. But, but actually not wearing plate carriers. Typically, when you saw like plate carriers, those were high speed guys. All right. They were PSYOP, Rangers, SEALs, ODA, things like that. Your average troop didn't have fucking plate carriers when the first 10 years of the war. It just didn't happen. But we were fast, because we didn't have an extra 80 pounds of shit holding you down. Move fast. And, if you're fast enough, you don't get shot. Anyway, let me get the Dynamite's thing up there. Where was it at? Let me rephrase. see if I can remember how to do this. Boom. Pin message. Does that do it? There it is. Message pin. Dynamite says, I just wish they would stop dragging it out. Let's get this thing done. They would drag it out as long as possible, because the longer something takes, the more it becomes socially acceptable and normal. The new normal. The longer, I mean, think about it. Literally, think about this. If, 1776, we become a nation. If in 1790, they took all the laws that are in place now and said, this is how it's going to be, all hell would have broken loose. Because we have come so far off the rails, and tied and made the legal system so jumbled that so many laws that are unconstitutional get enacted and enforced, and then it takes years or decades for it to be found unconstitutional, which the lay person is capable of saying, well, that's unconstitutional. But no, they set the system up to work in their favor, so that way they can pass all that shit, and it at best will take decades, if ever, to have it revoked. Okay? So they're going to drag it out as long as they can. I was talking with Chewbacca, Mr. Rollins, Chewbacca and Domekeeper. Great family, by the way. Tell Maddie I said hi, and Leah, and Riley, and little Odin. Tell them all I said hi. And yeah, I just kind of threw your kids' names out there, but they're all over Facebook anyway. So tell them Uncle Rob said hi. And I miss him. But as I was talking with Chewbacca, Mr. Rollins, the only way, and I'm not condoning anything, the only way to shut the beast system down, which is what we have in essence, in my opinion, is to knock out the entire grid. That's it. Kind of like what everybody's talking about on Preperation down in the Carolinas that happened, where like 40,000 people out of power. Maybe that was just a dry run. And some of you who've been here a long time remember my insurgent tactics, techniques, and procedures video involving taking down how to knock down a power grid. I will someday, when I fix, I'll get a new one of this. I will start redoing that series. But the system requires electricity to continue. It will never be voted out. There is no political way to take the system from where it is now back to 1776 without 1775. All right. Everything, I'll help people getting all the guns together. Stop saying my name, dickhead. I'm undercover. Okay, I'm going to show that. I said Mr. Rollins. I didn't say Brent. So there you go. Let's see. Okay, let me take a look. Grid down won't stop the system. They have backups. Yeah, no, they don't. Vigilant preparedness. I would love for you to explain how not being able to get fuel for their trucks, food for their cities, their airplanes to move, their rail to move, if all that went away, the only backup to a grid down is a secondary grid on standby. That's it. Because once electricity stops, there's no money, there's no fuel, there's no rail, there's no trade, there's no stock exchange, there's nothing but Little House on the Prairie or Wild Wild West, depending on which way you want to look at it. And the Wild Wild West wasn't that wild because everybody had guns, and an armed society is a polite society. So, And that's why I said the best thing for like Russia and China to do would be to knock out our power grid. If they just wanted to be done with us and have their own little systems set up over there, they knock out our power grid. The U.S. government goes away. And remember, here's Putin and Chairman Mao, part 2 over there. They don't hate America. We, I guess, would be America. They hate the U.S. government. All right. They don't hate the people. Not one of them, as I said in many videos, not one of them hates a single one of y'all, unless you've actually know them personally in some weird way. Okay, Dynamite says something here. Let's see. Speaking of your previous series, I may or may not have acquired a certain government manual you mentioned. Good. Lots of useful information in that. Beast gets slaughtered, unknown vector. Yes. Another thing I wanted to point out, and I was going to do a video last week, but I was traveling and I didn't have a chance to because, I was on the go. So do sheep. That's what you reminded me of. Thank you. Beasts get slaughtered, but so do sheep. All right. So a lot of people want to talk about, werewolf preppers, wolves, marauders. Coffee, good coffee. Every society on the planet that has been developed via the wolves. All right. The sheep, they just go with the flow. They do whatever. It's the wolves. Now follow me here, because sheep just bleat. Yeah. And they get ate. All right. One man's wolf is another man's guard dog. And that's all. People are like, oh, sheep dog or what? No, I'm not guarding sheep. I will guard other wolves. All right. My pack. You guys, people who will be productive, will be self-sufficient, will help me if I help them. We work together as a unit, as a pack. All right. Am I a wolf? Yes. Will I devour others outside of my pack if that's what's required for my pack to survive? Yes. All right. Will I try to just go after the bad ones? Yeah. Are there good people that I would, in a SHTF total collapse scenario, that I would target? There are good ones that I would vet and bring into my pack. And I'd give them a choice. I mean, you can come or not. But if you become a problem, we will devour you. That's it. Simple as that. Prepper Nation says it takes a wolf to catch a wolf. Yeah, and I mean, the biggest wolf survives. The wolf packs, I mean, Attila the Hun, Genghis Khan. Look at the Ming Dynasty, the rise of the Ming Dynasty. These were not soy latte, skinny jean wearing dudes. All right. These were dudes that would put heads on pikes. Yeah. Vlad the Impaler. Bad example, because he was a bit of, historically speaking, he was a bit of a dick. All right. But keep your people safe. You got to do what you got to do. What are we seeing here? Problems can be tasty. Family always comes first. Yes. And that's why, when America is in the past, when America was attacked, we united as family and looked at the external force that was attacking, and we focused on it and just devastated. Number one military power in the world, because we were protecting our family in essence. All right. The same thing will happen post SHTF. You will have these groups that will rise, and they'll be like, oh, well, that guy's a threat. Well, look at the guy that's a threat over there, and look at the guy that's a threat over there, and see which one of them's more of a dick, and pick the opposite one. All right. If this one is that guy's a bit of a dick, but all his people were fed. And that guy's a bit of a dick, and he's raping and murdering people. Well, I suggest helping this dick kill this dick. All right. Shadow Tracks says wolves are. Let me pin that up. Let's see. Place pin. Let me see. Shadow Track says wolves are leaders. An army of leaders is what is being raised. Real leaders hate to lead others. Lead your damn selves. Yes. Nobody. Everybody's like, oh well, this, I should be in charge. You'll see it, especially in TV shows. I want to be in charge. Being in charge sucks. All right. Beware anyone who actually wants to be the number one guy. All right. I'd be happy being like the number 5, number 10, but if you want to be that number one guy, especially in a post without rule of law society, that number one guy is going to be really ruthless, do some heinous shit. And regardless of what the people, if people love him, people hate him, it doesn't matter. He's going to have to do really ruthless shit. And I really don't want to always have to do really ruthless, cold shit. All right. I'd rather be the guy that knows the guy or is friends with the guy. Yeah. Message retracted. Preparation says, I don't want to be a leader. I want to support a competent leader. Yes, exactly. I was always right there. One of my titles was advisor to the battalion commander. I did not want to be the battalion commander. The BC had so much bullshit, political shit, fucking having to report to generals and all this other. Yeah, no, thank you. You're a bureaucrat. In essence, you're a bureaucrat with the ability to send people to kill other people. All right. Prepper Cowboy said, in the rear with the gear. That's a great place to be. Yeah, in the rear with the gear. But it's nice to be around those people in their circle, to be at the level where you're in their circle, to where you still get to know all kinds of shit and you still have lots of privileges and the ability to affect real change. All right. And to be like, sir, that might not be the best way to do this. Have you thought, maybe, what do you think about this? It's better to be that guy. All right. Just in my opinion and experience. What else we got here? I don't want to stay on too long tonight. I know a lot of people are getting ready for the holidays and stuff like that. I just wanted to primarily point out the thing about the guns and, like I said, the thing about the wolves. Been on my mind a lot lately about that. Everybody, the wolves, and end of the world is coming, and nuclear apocalypse this, and nuclear apocalypse that, and we're going to be invaded, and this. We're all going to die someday. The best thing you can do as an individual is pull know what's going on in the world, but focus on what's going on in your world. All right. Your world, unless you're in DC or some shit like that, is a lot smaller than you think it is. Don't worry about what's going on in Ukraine. Don't worry about what's going on in Taiwan, unless you or someone you immediately know, love, and care about is possibly going to go to those places. All right. Worry about your home. Take care of your roots, your foundation. Build your community. All right. Like I was talking with Chewbacca and Domekeeper this past weekend. They're a southern part of what used to be what is the OFC nation. That's Southern Outpost 1. All right. Building relationships with people, meeting their family, and her mother and father, and just meeting new people, making new friends, building new alliances. That's what it's about. Get down to the roots. All right. Take care of the basics. Focus on here and focus on getting as independent from the system as possible. Very important. Somebody's getting blocked for something. Let me show that, whatever that is. Oh, I missed somebody. Christmas ain't real. Stay on as long as you want. There you go, Chewbacca. Yeah, I know we've had discussions about, uh, uh, you know, Christmas being a former pagan holiday and just substituted. And we know that. But I mean, if you want to celebrate Jesus' birthday, you can pick any day that you want because nobody's actually certain of the actual day. And for a lot of people, they like to pick December 25th. So there you go. Have that day for you. I don't care one which way or the other, as long as you understand that there is a higher power. Oh, let's see here. Is there anything else anybody would like to touch on real quick? There you go. Ink Scars he celebrates Jesus daily. He or she, I don't know. Ink Scars. I think that would be a female, but I'm not sure. It could be a male. Ink Scars. It doesn't matter. But Ink Scars celebrates Jesus daily. Let's see. Dynamite. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. You are correct. And I have seen the U.S. government in bed with some nasty individuals. All right. The U.S., whether you know it or not, used to be in bed with Victor Boot. All right. If you know that name, it's because you just saw it recently in news. All right. He was the merchant of death, is the merchant of death who was traded for that fella that got arrested in or whatever her name is, Granger, whatever, Greasy, whatever. He, LOL, Ink Scars. He. All right, Ink Scars, cool. That's it, Grinder. But yeah, if you don't think we were in bed with Victor Boot, I was in Dubai. I used to be in Dubai, in the UAE, back in the day when he had a whole fleet of aircraft in Sharjah, which is Sharjah means east, the east airport outside of the town over from Dubai, and we knew it was there. All right, we knew it was there. In fact, the Emirati, when I asked them about, doesn't Victor Boot have his aircraft over here? They're like, that's Emirati business, not American business. All right, cool with that. Two Wheel Prepper says, you've touched on the roots of MCs in helping resist tyranny and uproot the beast system in the U.S. How prominent and necessary do you think their role for that will be? Exactly. I don't think that MCs will actually help uproot the system, as far as, because they got their own stuff going on. They're not a fan of the U.S. government. I'm not a fan of the U.S. government. But they have their own stuff going on. I'm saying post SHTF, like if the grid went down, there are MCs that are big enough to seize control of large areas and pretty much bring order out of chaos. All right, enforce laws in small areas. That's what I was saying. And Scar, hold on. I didn't catch. I must have missed something up here. Yeah, that's what I was saying there. Two Wheel Prepper is that the MC world, especially the larger clubs, will have the manpower to, one, take care of themselves and their members' families in an SHTF scenario, and two, enforce rule of law, though it will be a much more primitive and simplistic rule of law. It will still be enforced in the areas that they control, because it is today within their own society, if you will, a sub-society, subculture. That subculture, those subculture rules that rule the subculture right now will become the mainstream in those areas. In the event that there was a total grid collapse, society collapsed, there was no rule of law, no electricity anymore, you would see areas where groups like that just said, well, okay, we're in charge. Let me scroll back down here, get back down to the bottom. Oh, I came in late. What is an MC? And Randy Romines. An MC is a motorcycle club. Somebody, a two-wheel prepper, I'm assuming two-wheeled is in motorcycle. And an MC is a motorcycle club. You have different ones, 1%ers, and on. 1% would be, and we're getting way off of what the original topic is, but hell with it. Let's talk about things. Your 1% clubs would be like, you think of what the government would call an outlaw club. And I don't want to throw specific club names out, but if you've seen them, watch any movie about motorcycle gangs, that's a 1%er. Well, there you go, Shadow Treks. Banditos, there's an example. Large 1% clubs. We all know what they are. Michael G. In the chaos to come, someone has to step in and restore some semblance of order. Yes. And that is what I try to promote here and with my last channel, OFC Nation, Order from Chaos, is that it's going to be up to people like us to step in and start ensuring that good men get to the power, the positions they need. We group together, we come together, basically because every area is going to be dominated by a warlord in a total SHTF scenario. So, do you want good ones or bad ones? A lot of people think, when they hear the word warlord, they think, like Africa. All right, they think of child soldiers. Warlords. We've got them in this country today. Any general of the United States, a colonel, all right, any commanding officer at a Army Reserve unit is a warlord. All right, the chief of police is a warlord. The governor is a warlord. He can call up smaller warlords via the National Guard and send them off to do shit. All right. Prepping Plumber, how you doing? But at the end of the day, you need to be a wolf, not a sheep. Now, just because you're a wolf doesn't mean you're bad. Wolves, all right, if you think about it, everybody likes to give wolves a bad reputation. Oh, wolves will eat the sheep. Wolves won't eat all the sheep because then they won't have anything to eat. Wolves only eat their fill, even in the wild. It's the shepherd that I worry about, because the shepherd is the primary person who's going to kill the sheep in the first place. The shepherd's whole job is to get those sheep nice and plump so they can slaughter them. So I'd be aware of people that pretend to be shepherds. And sheepdog, city prepper, sheepdog. I refuse to be a sheepdog, because why should I take my effort, risk my life, risk my children being fatherless, for someone who is unwilling to pull their weight and do what needs to be done? I will protect another wolf. Now, if the wolves are older and they can only do so much work, back here, fine, we'll take care of the old wolves. We'll take care of the young wolves and raise them up. But everyone in my circle must have a warrior mindset. Now, yes, you can be a farmer, you can be a fireman, you can be a nurse, you could be you can be whatever, but you must have the warrior mindset to be in and stay in my circle. Because I'm not raising sheep. I'm not protecting sheep. I refuse to. Stand together or fall together. We guard the flock. Yeah. Well, you're the wolves that guard the flock. As long as the flock is willing to become wolves one day. And see, the whole sheepdog thing, and the flock. A flock has no purpose, I mean, historically, but to serve somebody else. So I prefer to not have anybody that can't survive, that can't become a warrior or hasn't been a warrior. It's just, I've changed my mindset. I used to, back when I first, when I was younger, 10 years ago, 15 years ago in the military, I was like, yeah, I'm considered myself a sheepdog. But then I started looking, I was like, I look around America today, the guy doing drag shows for kids is unworthy of my protection. I'm not going to lay down my life for that sheep. All right. That sheep and its flock can go down a road. Beaverines would be scary united in one general area. Yes, but they'd also be more easily taken out in one general area. The future of warfare has been for the past couple decades and will continue to be small asymmetrical cells. That's the way it is. The way it's going to be. That work from the bottom to the top with no real upward structure, no upward leadership, just a general concept of what needs to be achieved and a loose confederation of cells. All right. 3 or 4 guys in one area can wreak havoc on a large beast. Yeah. Just got to have those 3 or 4 guys that are willing to do what it takes. Just saying. Asymmetric whack-a-mole is hard to win. Yes, unknown vector. Asymmetric. Well, what the hell was that? Something blew up over here. Oh, shit. Somebody disappeared over there. Someone got assassinated over there. Asymmetrical warfare done surgically is a nightmare for a large force to try to deal with. Yeah, a nightmare. Yeah, it's bad. A grid goes down here, and then a grid goes down here, then a politician disappears over here, and then, something happens over here. Yeah, and small little hits. Michael G., most sheep aren't worth saving. Yes. Black Cat Whirly Gig says, stay strapped and safe, nation. Something jumped up and bit me. Exactly. In the buttocks. Exactly. Washburn Billy, hello. Ed says, hello, Beverly. Hey, Beverly, you got y'all must know each other or something. I don't know. Dome Seeker says, you got to listen to Tom's My Gang. It's us. All right. I'll check that out. Yeah, I don't always listen to music, period, but I will try. I'll listen to that. You're talking about Tom McDonald, I guess. That's rap music. I'll listen to it though. I ain't opposed to rap music or stuff like that as long as it's not weird shit. All right. If no one has anything else, we'll go ahead and call this. Anything? That's all right, Buckshot Prepper. You take care of what you need to take care of. You're prepping your body right now. So, nice shirt. Thank you. Live chat with Risky. Hey, Sherman, how you doing? And everybody else. It's okay that you missed it. You can watch it again, or Beverly. You like weird shit. Well, I can be slightly off. Some people would say I'm a bit touched in the head. Petrodollar going the way of the dodo bird, says Washburn Billy. Yeah, it could. It could. I mean, there's deals being made. Prepper Nation's laughing. What are you laughing about there? I am a bit touched in the head, but okay. I'm free. I'm gonna put a pin in the petrodollar real quick. Let me put that in. I'm literally going to pin that, so that way I can remember to get back to that. But I was talking with somebody about this. Replace pin message. Now I'll remember that message here in a second. Being touched in the head. PTSD. If there's any veterans out there, if you know any veterans out there that suffer from PTSD, what you need to understand is that it is not a disorder. All right. Now, I know a lot of people, in my opinion, and of course, disclaimer, fact, art, fiction, it's not a disorder. It is normal to have some issues after seeing or doing fucked up shit. Pardon my language, especially Chewbacca, but your kids already heard it. I mean, your son called your daughter a dickhead after I was there for less than a day. Yeah, and I saw you post that in there. It's not a disorder. That is normal for you to have some kind of issues after seeing or doing jacked up shit. All right. What isn't normal is our society. All right. When you take a human being that is designed for conflict, our primeval brain is designed for conflict. It has been since forever, since Cain killed Abel, look at all the wars in the Bible, in the Torah, in the Quran. Look at all the wars throughout history. We are hardwired to be good at conflict, but we're not taught, or it's not normal for us to go from a conflict zone back to a place where, well, if this guy gets in your face and screams and spits at you, you can't touch him. You better call the police. And when someone gets in your face and you rip half their face off, now you're the bad guy. No, that's not normal. The weak society that we live in right now is ridiculous. All right. It is. I'm sorry. I was looking at the chat and clicking on something. People who haven't experienced violence don't see the bigger picture concerning violence. As I've said before numerous times, the biggest problem with our society is that most people haven't been punched in the teeth at least once in their life. I guarantee you that. Most people, maybe not the people in here, but your average person out on the street has your average suit, your average guy that works at the bank or at Starbucks or that packs your groceries or that works as a cashier has not been cracked in the mouth. And that's a problem with today's society because no one learns that there are repercussions for their improper behaviors. Oh, well, you don't touch me, I'll call the cops. Well, I'm going to do a lot of touching in the next 15 minutes it takes the cops to get here. What's going on in the chat here? I've had bones broken in fights. It changes your perspective. Yes, you are. Yeah, exactly. Wireless plumb too. Wireless plumb. Okay. But yeah, you're correct. It does change. You can't hit me. I'm a female and I wear glasses. Yeah, all right. If you aren't a little off, you have no personality. Yeah, well, I would say I'm a little off. At least that's what everybody else is. Heart it out 911 when you're eating a fist. Yeah, see? I have. It teaches respect and taught a lot of respect too. Yes. That's number one problem. What do you think, Angel? You think I'm a little touched in the head?
Yeah.
She's over here. Pin comment. Oh, yes. Petrodollar. Thank you. Who said it? 420. Thank you. The petrodollar going the way of the dodo. It is a strong possibility. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. If you were Saudi Arabia, why, if someone from India or China came up with a fork truck with a pallet full of gold and said, we want to buy your oil, why would you say no? I'm sorry, but the Americans said we have to buy it in US dollars. And screw them. That's what I'd say. It makes sense. We've cut off a very large oil supplier, Russia, and try to say, well, you can't buy stuff from them. People are still going to buy it. You're not supposed to buy cocaine from the Colombians. It's everywhere. There's that. Yeah, Christian Lopez, he says shoot. Yes, I did say shoot through the floors on the other one. Regarding the 7.62 by 39. But yeah, so these guys are automatically, we are forcing the world off the petrodollar by trying to be bullies and trying to limit what everyone else can do. All right. You can't spend your money there. You can't buy from them. You can't buy from them. You have to buy it this way, or it's about time the rest of the world looked at the U.S. and said, go pound sand. Because the U.S. government is bullies. That's what they are. They are bullies. We have been for a long time. Okay? In case you haven't noticed, we haven't been the good guys since about 1941, give or take. All right. And, well, a couple years after that. It took a while to win that one. But we haven't really been the good guys since then. Since the end of World War II, we've went around the world killing a lot of little brown people wherever we could find them for natural resources. So there's that, all right. Well, yeah, petrodollar's going away. We'll adapt. US dollar might go, it'll take a hell of a hit. It will take a hell of a hit. Has been for a while now. It's going to be getting worth less and less and less. And then, eventually we'll see what happens. All right. All right. Everybody out there, thank you for being here. Good night. God bless. To my baby sharks, Daddy loves you. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'm out.